Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be testing what the real Linc Ocean Gel dry time is. Now, when I first started using them, I realized they didn't dry as quickly as some other pens that I like to use, but they do dry eventually, and typically I don't get any smudging. Now, if you're like me and you like to write on both the front and back side of paper sometimes, then they're not really going to be that great because once you close your notebook, they will transfer. I have journaled and used them and noticed that they will transfer. So today we're going to actually test what is the real dry time, because if you're writing notes, you're writing in class, I do not recommend the Linc Ocean Gel. If you're studying by yourself and you're going a little bit slower in the way that you write, you can definitely use them. So let's go ahead and test what the real Linc Ocean dry time is. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be using the black Linc Ocean Gel. It'll be easier to see the smudging there. I'm also going to be using my watch to time it so we can get a sense of what the real dry time is. Now at this point, I'm counting via Mississippi's just to get to 5 seconds. So that was 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, etc. So I got to 5 Mississippi. Once we get to 30 seconds, I'll be using my watch. After 30 seconds, it was more or less dry, but I want to keep going to see just how long it takes to get absolutely no smudging at all. Okay, so about a minute. And I would say it's pretty much, oh, no, we still have some smudging. Okay, so we're going to keep going until we can see how long it takes to not smudge. Let's reset this real quick. Now this is the 5-minute timer, so we have a few minutes to chat. So let's talk about the results that we have so far while we wait these 5 minutes. So right away, the ink is not dry right after you write. So this pen would not be good for lefties because you are going to smudge all over the place. 1 second, you can tell it starts to get better. 5 seconds, even better. After 30 seconds, this one was approximately 45 seconds because I was on the timer, so the stopwatch on my watch. And so I would say it was supposed to be 30 seconds, but it was actually closer to 45 seconds. You see, after 45 seconds, we still have some minimal smudging. Now, after 1 minute, it's basically dry. We have some smudging on the dot above the I. So this would be like if you're writing sentences, taking notes. By the time you get to the end of your line, the whole line should be about done. You may have still some wet points depending on the letter, but this I smudge compared to this I. Now, like I said, we're waiting for 5 minutes. I do think that after 5 minutes, this pen should be basically dry. If it's not dry after 5 minutes, then this is a real problem. So yeah, so hopefully after 5 minutes, it's dry, but aside from the dry time, I really like this pen. It's a great everyday pen if you just need a pen to grab, to take notes, to just throw in your purse for when you need to sign something and you don't want to touch whatever pens they have. This is a great pen to have. It's so light and the ink is actually great quality ink for such a cheap pen. Now, they did take a while to ship from Amazon because they are coming from India, but I will say that they're definitely great everyday pens. Pens, if you want pens to have that you can lose, that are cheap to replace, definitely these are a great gel pen. And they're actually 0.55 millimeters instead of 0.5, so they're a little thicker than your typical 0.5 point, but they are that needlepoint style, and they do write pretty smooth for what they are. So we are 2 minutes in now. I also want to take this time to let you know that I posted a video with me unboxing some new pens I acquired. Definitely check those out. Let me know what you think. If you tried those pens before, if you like them, if you hate them, let me know. I definitely want to discuss all of this in the comments. I do read the comments and I do reply to as many as I can. I try to get to all of them, but if I don't get to all of them, then I get to as many as I can. So that was really everything I needed to let you know. So I'm going to speed up the clock a little bit here for that last minute so we can finally test to see if the ink is finally dry. Okay. So after 5 minutes, it's basically dry, which is good because 5 minutes is a long time. Now, it could have dried after 2 minutes. So let's see how long it takes. So let's do 2 minutes. And if it's still not dry, we'll try 3 minutes. We'll put that down here. Let's see how long, as close as we can to an exact time, do we have to get to its actual dry time. Because at 5 minutes, it's a right-handed person would have to write out an entire page, probably double spaced, just to make sure, depending on how big the page is and how big the lines are, just to make sure you don't get the tops or bottoms of letters. Wait 5 minutes for your page to dry before you can either flip it over, switch to another page if you're in a notebook, or be able to highlight or do anything with it. So let's see how the pen does after 2 minutes. Hopefully 2 minutes is closer to the dry time. But I will say I have used this pen to journal, and by the time I got to the end of the page and I switched on the other page, I did see some transfer from when I was writing on the back. So it's still not quick enough, but like I said, for quick things, signing a receipt, if you happen to be owning a restaurant and watching this video, this is a great pen to have to give to your waiters and everything like that. Or for your student, they're a really cheap pen. Because they're super cheap. It lasts a while. I mean, I don't use it every day. I do circle between other pens, but they last a while. You can use them for notes or for studying, or if you want to make sure everything's really neat, but you don't want to spend more than a few dollars per pen. I believe the entire pack was only like $16 for 10, but that was American dollars. And like I said, these are Indian pen. Like, this brand is from India, so I think in India they're 8 rupees, I think. So they're super cheap, literally. Like, these would be similar to the big pens in America, super accessible, and this is what these pens would be. So we're at 2 minutes, actually a little over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And yeah, the pen is basically dry. You have some minimal smudging on the eye, but nothing compared to 1 minute. So let's say at 2 minutes, it's basically safe to use or probably highlight. If you don't want any smudging, let's see what the highlight looks like actually. Oh yeah, so after 2 minutes, it's still it's still not dealing with the highlighter pretty well. Let's do this, and then let's try the 5 minutes. So yeah, after 5 minutes, it's a little bit better. But if you do a lot of highlighting when you're taking notes, I just wouldn't recommend this pen at all. If you are looking for a pen, and maybe that's a video I can do in depth later on, which pens would be good for highlighters for students. This pen is the Linc Silent Clicker Gel. This is a great note-taking pen. It's also similar to that pen tip with that needle point. And this I would definitely recommend if you're looking for a pen that's good for a highlighter. So let's just show what that looks like. So yeah, it definitely holds up a lot better. But I'll do another video if you guys want, showing different pens and how they respond to highlighters. So yeah, I mean, that's the Linc Ocean Gel. Now we know the perfect dry time is somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes, maybe even longer, especially if you want to use the highlighter. I personally wouldn't recommend highlighter because it just, as you can see, gets messy really fast, to say the least, compared to that Tech, which is definitely holding up to the highlighter a little bit better. Yeah, so as you can see, with the Linc Ocean, even 2 and 5 minutes. 2 is the worst, but 5 minutes it gets a little bit longer. So if you have to wait for a pen to dry longer than 5 minutes, I don't think this is great if you're for students. Now, if you're drawing or something, maybe you'll find use with this pen, but definitely not for students, not for journaling, not for note taking. This Tech I use to compare it to, this one does take the highlighter a little bit better. And even if you use the Tech highlighters, I'm sure those are great too. I typically don't use highlighters at this point in my life, so I really don't have many to use to test it with. There are other videos on YouTube where you can see how the Tech pens perform with the Tech highlighters and other highlighters. But I definitely recommend the Silent Clicker as a quick everyday pen for note-taking, journaling, whatever you need. And they dry pretty quickly. As you can see, I don't have any of the issues that I've had with the Linc Ocean Gel, and that's a pretty consistent feature of all their pens. I will say that the only pen that doesn't dry as quickly would be their liquid rollerball. That one has a similar feel as a fountain pen in terms of how wet the ink is. So that one doesn't dry as quickly, but it's still a beautiful pen. I love that one too. That was actually my first favorite in terms of when I really want my handwriting to look neat. This one, in terms of the pen I use most often on a day-to-day basis, this is the pen that I throw in my purse just to have a pen with me when I'm out and about. This has become that pen. So, and it's super lightweight. I also have an unboxing video for this video on my channel, so you can go ahead and check that out. I'll link it up below also, so you can just go ahead and watch that one too. So yeah, that is the Linc Ocean Gel dry time experiment. I recorded this video just to see how quickly it actually dries, because I know that I've had an issue with smudging, and I definitely, like I said, do not recommend for left-handed people. So that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in to another Penmanship Pros production, where writing is an experience. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and stay tuned for the next one.